Hello and welcome to the CNBC Conversation. I'm Tanya Breyer. This episode brings us to Rome, home of the world-famous fashion house Fendi. It all began back in 1926 when Adele and Eduardo Fendi set up a leather goods store. But the Fendi empire truly took shape in 1946 when their 5 daughters joined. Paula, Anna, Carla, Franca and Alda changed silhouettes, employed new materials and embraced modernity. Of course, Fendi's most famous collaboration is with its creative director, Karl Lagerfeld.
I think that they immediately understood how genius he was. They loved him from the very first moment.
The partnership is now the stuff of legend, surviving over 50 years. It's the longest collaboration ever between a designer and a fashion house.
I think the secret is born with the incredible curiosity. He wants to go what's happened next. And at the end of each show, he turns around and says, okay, it's done. What do we do next?
And what's next still firmly includes the Fendi family. Since 1994, Anna's daughter Silvia Venturini Fendi has been the creative director of accessories, men's and children's wear. Alongside Karl Lagerfeld, she now controls Fendi's creative future.
I think that this is his family in a way, so I think that Fendi was based on his creative need.
Karl is of course an incomparable force in fashion. Not only does he design for Fendi, but he's also at the helm at Chanel and his own eponymous label. Karl Lagerfeld, the designer, writer, artist, photographer, director and producer, sits down for the CNBC Conversation. Karl, your collaboration with Fendi is the longest in fashion.
In the history of fashion,
yes,
I know. Yeah.
It is.
It should be in the Guinness Book. Huh?
I'm sure it should
no,
be.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
But when you started with them, Karl, could you have ever imagined that it would have lasted this long?
Nobody could, myself included, you know. Because, you know, this goes back to 1965. The world we live in today is not the same world anymore. Huh? Everything has changed, and nothing has changed more than the world of fashion.
Can you remember, though, when you first met the Fendi sisters?
Of course I can, very well. There were 5 sisters who had a new salon, because before they were in a shop in the Via Piave, and they wanted somebody who could add a little young touch to a special collection of young fur. I don't know how young fur can be, but you know, this period was about youth obsession, even worse than today. I said, but you have to make a little different label. And in 3 seconds, I did the 2F, fun fur. It wasn't Fendi fur, it was fun fur. But after 2 years, it became the logo for everything Fendi.
And how did it evolve over the years, Karl, the collaboration between the two of you?
The whole evolution of the whole thing.
Yes.
It's difficult to say this. Then they started the ready-to-wear in 1977.
Yes.
And also we mixed the ready-to-wear with the fur and all that. There was one idea they didn't like, but in the end we did it later, but much later when the business was sold, was to mix fake fur with real fur.
Ah, okay.
That is still an idea everybody is scared of. Not me, because I'm scared of nothing.
You're not scared of anything?
No, of myself a little, that's all.
Where do you think that came from, Karl, that you're not scared of anything?
You know, if you're in this business and you are scared, then you better do something else. No, and they were open to it, especially Karl and Fendi. They were open for everything new, every change. I mean, this was full of energy. They had tons of energy, and I think I had a little good energy too. So it worked, it was great. The 70s were great, the 80s. After that it was a little different because, you know, seeing the world of fashion changed so much that in the end it became an LVMH business, what is very good because Bernard really invested in it, and look what Fendi is now. He really made a huge thing out of Fendi. And I think the top of the evolution of Fendi was the show on the fountain of Trevi what is a moment we can never repeat.
And that unique moment was titled Legends and Fairy Tales, a fashion show like no other. Where the models literally walked on water to celebrate Fendi's 90th anniversary.
It was like in a dream. Until the very last minute, I couldn't believe that we could achieve this, because it was kind of complicated to have all the permissions and to get there. But it was the perfect way of celebrating our anniversary.
Concept to completion took 4 years. Fendi donated $3 million to the fountain's restoration in a move to showcase its love of its home city, Rome.
It was important for us to do this association because of the city, to give back to the city, but also because of Fendi, because people come 20 million a year to visit this city. And I believe the association between the Dolce Vita, the beauty of Rome, and a brand is very beneficial. So in fact, it was not just generosity, I think it was also, I hope, a clever marketing strategy.
It must have been incredible at the Trevi Fountain.
Yes, but I said it was a magical moment for Fendi and for me also, and for everybody involved, for the people who work for, even for the girls. The girls on the water knew that they were doing an iconic moment that will not come back every day, because there is no other fountain like this, and it's not easy to do that. Huh? But you know, I don't think in terms of anniversary, you know. The year before there was me working 50 years for Fendi. No, but I don't look at my old work. I mean, they made nice books, but the books were made without me, the one from last year and the one from this year. I personally, I'm not interested in my own past. I'm only interested in today, and perhaps tomorrow.
But you've done so much, there's still so much left to do. Yeah. But when you look back, would you not think of learning from things or nothing like that?
No, there is a famous song by Billie Holiday said, easy to remember and hard to forget. Me is easy to forget and hard to remember. And I'm easy to work with because I'm quite polite. No, because some are not. Huh?
Oh, really?
Oh, apparently. Oh. They're nice themselves for the outside. Huh? And you know, I don't do computer, I don't have a studio with 20 people sketching. I sketch myself everything, and I'm pretty good on it because I wanted to become an illustrator in the beginning. Huh? I believe in sketching because there is something very sensitive in sketching, and in sketches you don't have out of a computer. It looks the same like everybody, even if later on the dresses are okay, but I like to sketch and I like to see toiles made after my sketches and that they look the same. It is, you know, that's what I like.
Do you think there are not enough of the younger designers, Karl, that none of them seem to sketch? They're all on the computers.
Yes, but you know, today it's very different. First of all, some of the younger designers are not that young. And also, you know, they are art directors. I'm not an art director. So they have people and then they make a choice and then they go out after the show and make believe they did it all. This is the way every studio is organized today, but not mine.
And Karl, are there particular designers that you think are very good?
Yeah, many. Many.
Who are some of your favorites?
I like Miuccia Prada because I think she's the Anna Magnani of Italian fashion.
Yes.
And in France there are several people I like. Because, you know, it's also difficult to say because I'm friendly with, so I don't really know their clothes. I like Riccardo Tisci from Givenchy a lot. I like the girl who does Chloe, what I did for over 20 years. I like Phoebe from Celine. No, there are many people I like. I like Comme les Garçons, even if it's not wearable in the classic sense, but I think there is a spirit, a thing like this. What I don't like are designers who are fake intellectuals, and who call themselves, we are very intellectual. No. Dressmaking is dressmaking. Philosophy is philosophy, but you don't have to mix it.
You think sometimes they take themselves too seriously themselves? Beyond. And I don't give you names because it wouldn't be nice, I couldn't care less. There are none that you can actually name, Karl?
No, because I don't want to. But the list is not that short.
Stay with us on the CNBC conversation. Up next, Karl gets candid on business.
I thought she was right for Fendi, you know, and I like her personality. There's something very sweet about her.
And dishes out some of his famous Karlisms.
I may be commercial, but I don't fly commercial.
Karl Lagerfeld is arguably the most powerful fashion designer of our age. But the man so easily recognizable with his trademark white hair, sunglasses and high collars has also become a candid commentator of our time, delivering his headline-making Karlisms on popular culture's obsessions and on famous faces like Adele, Pippa Middleton and the Kardashians. Karl, you had Kendall Jenner open the show at the Trevi Fountain and you photographed her for the 2016 collection.
Yes, and we did also the catalogue and the advertising with her. Huh? No, we worked a lot with her, not for the first time. Huh? She's a nice kid, you know. Huh?
What is it about her that you like so much, do you think?
I thought she was right for Fendi, you know, huh? And I like her personality. There's something very sweet about her.
And you also photographed her sister Kim Kardashian
yes,
and Kanye.
Not for collections. Huh?
No, for Harper's Bazaar.
This cover and the story in Harper's Bazaar. Huh?
Yes. How were they, Karl? How did you find them?
I photographed them before, and I knew both of them for a long time. Huh? So there was no problem at all. Huh? Because if you have to photograph famous people, and I will say something potential, if you're vaguely famous yourself, it's much easier. Huh? If they are in front of an unknown photographer, they would not relax like they do in front of me. Huh? I had done her for another magazine when she was pregnant, and I met her several times. Him, I knew him even longer. So, you know, normally I don't have problems with people. Huh?
And with Kanye West, his attitude is, do you think he's very brilliant at his strategy, or people can find him arrogant?
Yes, but when you know him, you see it all differently. And the mother is very funny. I like the mother. She's so funny.
Karl, of course, you spend a lot of time in Rome and also in Paris.
I go between the two cities because I have a plane. So
but you grew
I may be commercial, but I don't fly commercial. No, but you know, I cannot, because people bother me to a degree you don't have an idea. Oh,
really? What
they want selfies, things like that. But it's my fault. I'm too easy to recognize.
Does it bother you, though? You don't want to be?
Bother, no, but there's a moment you're tired of it. Huh? Especially if you have to go to those gates, even if you throw your jacket and then they take the photos and things like that. No. That's in my contract. Huh?
Can you go anywhere, Karl, do you think, without being recognized?
No, I go nowhere. Nearly never.
But does that upset you that you can't go anywhere?
No, I always have bodyguards and things, but it's ridiculous, but... You know, you cannot have the butter and the money of the butter.
Karl, can I take you back when you were growing up in a town very close to Denmark, in Germany? And I just would like to ask you, if you don't mind, a little bit about your childhood.
My childhood was very simple. I only wanted one thing, to get out of there and to be grown up. I hated to be a child. Huh? That's why I could speak English, German and French when I was 6. No, I had a nice childhood in a period when the world was not that great. There is nothing I can say against. Huh? I'm not still recovering from an unhappy childhood. No, everything was perfect. I never played with children. I only was sketching and reading. And if it was in a country, I stayed quite isolated. No, I didn't even have anything to do with my sister and half-sister. I always was isolated from the rest. Huh? I was on the best of terms with my father, and even better terms with my mother, who thought it was perfect like this, as long as I was not creating trouble. Because the girls created trouble and were sent to boarding schools in the second, and from there they were married off. Because my mother had no patience. She was right.
Your mother must have been very proud of your own success.
No, she never mentioned that. Huh? And she preferred Sonia Rykiel dresses to what I did because it reminded her to the 20s.
Really? How did that...
No. Huh?
Yeah.
And she never saw a show of mine. Huh? She said, no, you know, I don't go to see people my son works for. Yeah, there's another area, you know, there's people from another area.
And they let you go to Paris very young. And did you enjoy being there by yourself?
My father had offices in Paris, so the whole thing was easy, even in those years for me. And then one day in the street, I saw a huge poster for a contest from the International Wool Fashion Office, what was a then very important Australian organization. So the poster was a sketch from Goriot, and the poster said, send a sketch of a suit, of a dress, of a coat, something done in wool. So I made a few sketches, sent them, got them, and 6 months later I got a telegram, because in those days you got telegrams, saying you won the first prize for the coat, and there were 200,000 people in the world who had done this thing. I mean, and then the coat was made by Balmain, what was a quite very successful house then, and he asked me if I didn't want to enter a studio.
And what was Paris like in those days, Karl?
It was a very safe place, but it was like in an old movie about Paris, you know. Huh? It still looked like in Paris from another area. Huh? No burqa.
I wanted to ask you about that, Karl, because the burqa is banned, obviously, in France. There's been a lot of controversy recently about the bikini and the women on the beaches and the policemen saying...
But I don't discuss the subjects. They're not mine. Huh? I don't know how they will find solution for all that. I prefer not to think about it, but it's a very unpleasant problem.
But for women to be told you can wear this, you can't wear that.
No, I hate this attitude against women, because, you know, my life and my work is dedicated to women. So I think it's horrible.
Still plenty more to come on the CNBC Conversation with Karl Lagerfeld, including...
I never thought that I could fall in love with an animal like this. With his huge sapphire eyes and this beautiful white fur. She is unbelievable. Very coquettish.
Karl Lagerfeld says he lives only in the present, and those close to him say it's what makes him such a successful force of fashion.
When we finished this incredible Trevi fountain show on the Trevi water, he looked at me and said, "This was incredible, but what the hell will we do when we will turn 100? That's the secret.
He is very much attracted by the white page. He doesn't look at past, he only looks at what's next. He doesn't have the arrogance of saying, oh, I've seen everything, I've done everything.
Of course, that commitment to the here and now sees Karl being a fashion force at Fendi, head designer and creative director of French fashion house Chanel, as well as his own eponymous label.
Going back, Karl, to all the collections that you have for Chanel, for Fendi, you also have Karl Lagerfeld.
Yes. But Chanel has a very different story. It's not the same price, and it's very digital, or it's a completely different thing. Huh? Things are less expensive. That is a very young, funny thing, because I don't want any competition, and that is sometimes done mostly by assistants, because they have to work on my personality, you see? It's like, I couldn't do it myself sometimes. I mean, I do lots of things, but all those choupette things and all those funny things, that's okay. But that's another story. Huh? And Fendi and Chanel is very easy for me, because Fendi is my Italian version and Chanel my French version. And I never mixed things. I had never a problem that a Chanel thing looked like a Fendi thing or a Fendi thing looked like Chanel. So it's very, I have no personality, I have two.
And you were talking just a little bit before about Choupette, because she appears in Karl Lagerfeld. What's the story with Choupette? Because it sounds like
Choupette is a very strange thing, because I never thought that I could fall in love with an animal like this. A friend of mine gave it to one of my mates, and I'm leaving for 2 days, could you keep it for 2 weeks? When he came back, I thought, I'm sorry, Choupette is mine. I don't give Choupette back. And she became a world-famous star, you know.
Yes,
huh?
I know.
She has her own fortune from things she did in Japan and in Germany for cars and things like this. And whenever I go somewhere, children say to me, how is Choupette? But you know, you have to see her. You would fall instantly in love with her, because she's unbelievable. With this huge sapphire eyes and this beautiful white fur, she's unbelievable. Huh? very coquettish, but she's over-groomed and everything. She has several maids. She's never alone when I'm not there. Oh, no, she's never, she doesn't like, even if she sleeps, she doesn't want to be alone. She's like a chic lady, like a kept woman with her personal maid. Because there's a lot of things to do, to wash her eyes 5 times a day, to brush her white hair and things like, oh, no. It's a full-time job.
Yeah, she sounds like she has a wonderful life, Karl.
Yes, it is a wonderful life, I think so too. She's traveling with me and her maid when I go to another country. She's never alone.
How has she changed your life?
How that changed my life? You know, it changed my life in a way that I never thought it could change that way. I think I became a better person.
Really?
Yes, I think it's very strange. Huh? And she gives something magical that I understand. The Egyptians from 4,000 years before Jesus Christ, for them, the cats were the most important animal. Huh? I understand that. Huh? And she gives energy. It's very strange. Huh? Huh? And when I have her next to me, I feel like a telephone what is recharged.
And you surround yourself with people that you trust.
Oh, yeah, no, only, yes. Even my servants. Huh? Yeah. They are spoiled like family. Huh? Really? They get apartments, houses, cars, and everything. You know, they do more for me than anybody else. Huh? Except sketching, I know to do anything. I'm totally stupid. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean. I don't know nothing. Huh? And my mother always said, you have to learn nothing, because then you have to make an effort to have always enough money that somebody is doing it for you. That was how I was brought up.
Really? But you achieved it, Karl. Could you imagine at that age, when your mother was telling you that, could you think you could achieve all this?
Yes, in a way, yes. When I remember as a child one day, I sat in a special room in this country house, and I said to myself, it's ridiculous, I think I will become a legend.
Really?
I was perhaps 8. I saw myself like a kind of fairy tale. I mean, it was in fact more an horror story, but it's very strange. But I remember the moment. But after that, I never thought about it again.
In your mind, is that what you were working towards, Karl, or you let
Yes,
me?
sometimes, but not all the time. I was enjoying what I was doing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was very lucky, you know. My parents gave me tons of money and cars and everything. I mean, I had a very spoiled youth, because in the fashion people didn't make fortunes, and it's not like today.
But what's so interesting, Karl, is that you say your parents spoiled you, you had everything in your childhood, but yet you had this work ethic, you know, to work so hard and achieve.
Lots of class, but working class.
Because normally people that can be spoiled, they don't want to work hard, but you never
No, it's
stop.
very bad to be spoiled if you're not ready to be spoiled. Huh?
Yeah.
And I think I would have not be spoiled if I had not the possibility to do something, to be ambitious enough not to fall in the easy trap of the 60s and the 70s. No, never.
Yeah.
I was never tempted. I was always an outsider. No alcohol, no drugs, nothing. Not because I'm against it, I just don't like it.
I know you don't like the word, Karl, but marketing, you know, how does that...
Yes, but I do marketing without doing marketing, you know. I never make meetings. Huh? We sit in the studio and then we discuss a little with the presidents and the studio head, and that is all. The rest, they can do what they want, but they do the right thing anyway.
But revamping these brands, and I'm thinking about the business side of things, do you get involved?
You know, the business is not mine, and I work for flat fees. So if they made mistakes, therefore it's not mine. Huh? But they don't. They do pretty well. No, they're great. The people here are great, and the people at Chanel are great. Huh? So I'm lucky. Huh? When I see how much it turns in other houses, they change. Most of the people I work with have never worked for somebody else. So I mustn't be that horrible.
And do you ever think about your legacy?
No. What for? I will not be around for that, so who cares? Huh?
But you have given and still give so much to the industry.
As long as I don't repeat myself, it's okay. You know, I laugh about myself. I'm my best cartoon.
Well, Karl, I know that you have a lot to do, so thank you so much for spending time with me today.
It was nice to talk to you.
Well, that's it from Rome and our time with the creative director of Fendi, Karl Lagerfeld. I'm Tanya Breyer, and thank you for watching.
I don't think